with coverage you can count on. This is Channel 3 Eyewitness News Today.
Crews are working right now to clear a crash here on I-24 West. Coming up in just a minute, I'll tell you how much this may add to your morning commute.
Plus, this video shows the attack on a CARTA employee, and police are asking for your help finding the suspect. Good morning, Tennessee Valley. You're watching Channel 3 Eyewitness News Today. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Lori Mitchell.
And I'm John Martin. It is Friday Eve, October 12th, 2017. David Carnes joining us to talk about the forecast. I know, David, yesterday was take your parents to lunch day. I think maybe today should just be eat lunch outside.
Enjoy the nice weather.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Almost made it all the way in without turning the air conditioner on in my car. I gave in about 3 or 4 miles out, though. I had to turn it on. It was getting just a little, but it feels much better this morning than yesterday. 10 degrees cooler, a little bit drier, and our Holiday Inn downtown camera is looking good. Maybe a couple of clouds here and there, but looky, 60 degrees in Chattanooga, 59 in Cleveland, 54 up on the plateau, and we're going to get up to 80, which is still warm for this time of the year, but it's a little bit cooler than yesterday, and with the lower humidity, it is going to feel wonderful all day long. A little warmer heading into the weekend, but then a big cold front moves in on Sunday into Monday, and look at the highs in the low 70s to start off next week. Lows will be in the 40s, near 50. We'll talk about all of that coming up in just a moment.
All right, David, thank you for that. And we have some breaking news from overnight. A fire on East 48th Street has damaged the South Chattanooga home. It happened just after 1 o'clock this morning. Thankfully, there were no injuries reported. That cause of the fire still under investigation.
This morning, we are learning more about a frightening situation at CARTA. A group of employees had an unknown liquid thrown at them. One is still recovering from her injuries. Channel 3's Tim Pham joins us with some new video of that attack. And Tim, I know police did not know much at first. Have they learned anything new about the suspect?
Well, Lori, we're getting a look at some never-before-seen video of the woman responsible in the vehicle she was driving. This was a brazen attack on CARTA employees, and police say they need your help finding the suspect. Take a good look at your screen here. You can see the suspect starts walking up the sidewalk, and she starts talking with the victim. Then the victim starts walking towards her to find out what the suspect needed, and then the suspect throws the substance on her face and runs away. You can see there that liquid has been sent away for testing, but it hit the victim and 4 other employees nearby. All were taken to the hospital with injuries. The main victim is still being treated.
If you know the suspect, or if you know the reason why the suspect performed this act, this heinous act on this victim who's going to suffer for the rest of her life, please call Crime Stoppers.
Well, here's a look at that video again. Police think the suspect was driving a gray BMW, and about an hour before the attack, the suspect was spotted at a nearby convenience store buying coffee, and we've learned she poured that cup out and used the cup for that substance she then dumped on those CARTA employees. If you can help in this case, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number's there on your screen. We've also posted the full video on our website. Live in the studio, Tim Pham, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, Tim. Yeah, just an unsettling situation there. So, Tim, thanks for that.
Well, now to the other big story we're following this morning. If you are headed out on Interstate 24 westbound, you are going to need to use an alternate route due to an overturned semi.
Yeah, Michelle Herron is live out there right now, going to give us the latest update. Michelle, this all started around 4:20 this morning.
Good morning to you. Yeah, so there is one lane that is moving right now. We're going to give you a look where wreckers have just arrived in the last few minutes. And so right now these crews are trying to figure out how they're going to upright this this tractor trailer. We're told that it was carrying paint. The driver was taken to the hospital in stable condition. But as they have to upright this tractor trailer, then load it up onto a wrecker before they can haul it off. And so it's usually typical in these times when they're doing this type of work that they have to periodically shut down the interstate for just a couple of minutes so that they have enough room. But right now, one lane is moving. Crews are actually, or drivers rather, are actually using the emergency lane to get through. Now, if you want to save yourself about 10 or 11 minutes here, you can use Highway 11 to get around this, or just give yourself some extra time if possible. But this is what we're tracking for you this morning. Again, we're on I-24 West, right in front of the Welcome Center. It's really close to the Georgia state line. For now, reporting live, I'm Michelle Herron, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, Michelle, thank you for that. A messy situation out out there for sure. We appreciate that. And yeah, again, 4:20 this morning is when it all took place. During the 5 o'clock hour, the interstate was completely shut down. So at least some progress being made. And Michelle giving you good advice.
But they got that one lane open fairly quickly. And that's definitely helping. I know you're going to be following some of the detours and talking about that through the next half hour.
All right, let's talk about the forecast, shall we? David Carnes joining us now. And
yeah,
maybe a good weekend to get out for what is it, Lake Winnipesaukee?
Lake Winnipesaukee.
Yeah,
yeah, it's going to be fantastic. Going on Friday and Saturday, starts at 6. And it's going to be wonderful weather this weekend, even nicer next week. Take a look at this. We've got just beautiful, cool weather sliding in. 80 degrees to the high today. The humidity is going to be low. Maybe a touch warmer over the weekend. 83 Friday, 81 on Saturday. Humidity might be a touch higher also, but it's still going to be nice this weekend. Might see a sprinkle or two Sunday into Monday as a cold front slides in and knocks temperatures down to where they should be, the way God intended them for the month of October. 70 on Monday and 50 degrees Monday night into Tuesday. That's what we're talking about for October.
All right, David, we all look forward to that. Thanks so much. All right, we've talked about the biggest traffic story of the morning. Going to take a look outside, talk about what else is going on. This is 75 at East Brainerd. That's looking okay. And hey, expect some changes actually on East Brainerd Road. There's a new traffic pattern near Hurricane Creek Road, so crews can work in a new area. You're going to want to slow down, especially if you're headed out before sunrise. Some changes out there to take note of. Coming up on Eyewitness News today, a look at the impact of Hurricane Irma on Florida.
Yeah, plus
fires in the past, this is one of the biggest, most serious. It's not over.
taking a closer look at some of the most destructive wildfires in the Golden State's history. Stay with us.
Well, it was a nearly flawless launch last night for SpaceX. This mission put a high-powered communications satellite over North America. This unmanned rocket has been launched before, which is actually the hallmark of SpaceX. Its founder believes reusable rockets are key to establishing life on planet Mars. And life is returning to a new normal in Miami after Hurricane Irma, and no one is more excited about it than these guys. These chimpanzees were allowed to return to their home at Zoo Miami yesterday. The chimps have been living mostly indoors since the hurricanes there.
Florida's governor is asking Congress to help the state's citrus industry that was heavily damaged by that hurricane. Officials say the storm caused more than $2.5 billion in losses to the agriculture industry. And this morning, fires in California's wine country are growing in size and in number. This is a look at what was a neighborhood. Now the situation is even more urgent. We are learning 23 people have died because of the flames, and there are now even more people being evacuated. California's governor is calling the situation catastrophic. More than 3,000 homes and businesses are gone. Thousands of firefighters are still working around the clock, but the flames are just spreading too fast.
We're not out of the woods, and we're not going to be out of the woods for a number of days, for a great number of days to come.
After years of drought, this is one of the most destructive and deadly firestorms in the state's history. And just like the hurricane, John, it's going to take a long time for these people to come back.
Generations, actually.
Yeah,
in Oklahoma today, Jason Aldean actually is going to play his first public concert since the Las Vegas shooting nearly 2 weeks ago. Aldean and his band, of course, you'll remember, were on stage performing on October 1st when a gunman opened fire on the crowd of 22,000 people. The country music star canceled shows out of respect. This morning, we've also learned someone who was shot that night is suing MGM and hotel security. Today's show is going to have much more about this at the top of the hour.
That individual, I believe, a 21-year-old college student, and she is also named the gunman's estate in that lawsuit. So a lot of information coming out of Vegas this morning. Well, coming up on Eyewitness News today, we've got a road closure in Cleveland that could impact your morning commute.
Yeah, and Dave is going to have a look at your weekend forecast when there's a chance for rain, plus the story behind some officers crossing the finish line. Very good, and some really good Chicago accents. Stay with us. It's coming up after the break. Oh.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News traffic sponsored by CHI Memorial, ranked #1 in the Chattanooga area by U.S. News. We thank our staff, physicians, and volunteers for their service to our patients and community.
Good Thursday morning, everybody. It's about 6:45 o'clock as we check on traffic for you, and man, do we have some stuff to talk about. All right, take a look at your TV screen. If you're headed towards Sewanee, Nashville, there is a major backup. A tractor trailer overturned around 4:20 this morning. Not expected to be cleared up for another 45 minutes. You can see that backup all the way to Cummings Highway. So the bottom left-hand screen is the actual accident headed westbound, but you can see eastbound traffic now slowing down, whether that be rubbernecking, looky-loos, whatever you want to call them. Be careful you don't cause a fender bender due to all of that. Give yourself plenty of time. Michelle Herron live on the scene letting us know that Highway 11 is a good alternate right now, but either way, you're going to have to give yourself plenty of time. This is near the Wildwood exit, Interstate 24 westbound. Hey, today in Cleveland, there's a road closure that may impact your commute. A section of Candy's Lane will be closed for most of the day for sewer construction. You can use Georgetown Road or Free Will Road as your detour. All right, David Carnes, let's talk about the forecast. A better morning as you're getting out there, not so sweaty, not so swampy.
Yeah, it feels great out there this morning, but first let's start with the latest on Hurricane Ophelia. What? Hurricane what? Yeah, Ophelia. It's a hurricane that has no impact on you at all, but you'll want to know about it. So here we go. It actually is staying way out in the Atlantic. It's going to go west of Spain as we head into next week. Here's what it looks like on the Storm Alert 7-day forecast. 80 today, low 80s through the weekend, and then bam, the temperature drops like a rock. 70 on Monday, 50 on Tuesday morning, and it's going to be a nice, cool, dry start to the week. The first half of next week looking good.
Man, that is good dog park weather this weekend. It's going to be just out there. David, thanks so much.
Weather to do anything outside. Well, big changes are ahead for the Boy Scouts. The organization will soon start accepting girls. The Scouting Board of Directors voted unanimously to make the historic change. Starting next year, girls can join Cub Scout packs, which consist of smaller groups called dens. Those dens, however, will remain single gender, so there will be dens for girls and dens for boys. Girls can work up the ranks all the way up to Eagle Scout. 2 Chicago police officers are being honored after they helped an injured runner cross the Chicago Marathon finish line.
Yeah, so with just 2 miles to go, the runner collapsed and actually broke his hip. So the officers helped him to an aid station, then later walked with him for more than 6 hours to the finish line. Now, this was the runner's 9th Chicago Marathon in a row. He had to have hip surgery and is expected to be okay. He says a reunion with the officers is planned once he gets back on his feet.
I was like, what's wrong? He said, my leg is done. I don't know what's wrong with it. I can't do it on my own. That's when I thought, I was looking at his face and I could tell he wanted this so bad. And he was telling me, this is his 11th marathon. And so I just told him, I said, if you really want to do this, we can make it happen.
Very cool stuff right there. All right. An unbearably cute panda cub in Tokyo is turning 4 months old today.
Check out these cute pictures. This is the newest video of the female giant panda named Shan Shan. She now has teeth. The cub is growing chubby at 20 pounds and now is over 2 feet long. She is sleeping pretty well at night, and during the day she's a little wobbly.
A little wobbly there.
Yeah, she's trying to stand on her own. It'll take some time, but Shan Shan is the name given to the cub. I know, I love that. It means fragrant smell.
Yeah.
That is the meaning behind the name Shan Shan.
So the adoring public named her Fragrant Smell.
She smells good.
Adoring might have been a over-the-top adjective.
You gotta
on
adore a
that
panda.
It was
they're
beautiful.
Too cute not to.
Maybe like windy, not
something a little simpler to say.
stinky.
Maybe.
Next on Eyewitness News today, we're going to have a look at your top stories, including the president's making some changes to health care.
But first, we want to head back out to the roads. We're going to check in with Channel 3's Michelle Herron. She has been on I-24 West all morning long, where a semi overturned. Michelle, how does the situation look on the roads behind you?
Hey, crews hope to have everything clear here right in front of the Welcome Center by 7:30. So about 40 minutes from now, we're going to keep you guys updated on air and online. But for now, more Eyewitness News coming up after the break.
Today, we now have a look at who police say was behind the attack on 5 CARTA employees 2 weeks ago. Take a look at the upper left part of your screen here. These are the best pictures of the suspect and her car and what happened that morning. You can see her approaching the victim at the CARTA headquarters, and then she apparently tossed a liquid on the victim and ran away. If you can help out in this case, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers right there on your screen. Lori?
Thank you, Tim. Happening today, President Trump is expected to sign an executive order on health care. The president said he would be signing something this week that would, quote, will be great health care for many, many people, end quote. Details are still limited this morning. We know it will allow people to cross state lines to receive care. We will have more about this situation on Eyewitness News at noon. There's a meeting in the Glenwood neighborhood tonight about short-term vacation rentals like Airbnb. It's at the Youth and Family Development Center. There will be a vote on whether or not to allow these rentals.
Well, Dalton High School is celebrating 100 years of educating North Georgia today. There's an open house at 5:30. This will also mark the $16 million renovation of the school over the last year. There'll be a look at all the academic and career opportunities available to students, plus a live catamount for you to see.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal for Rock Creek. We hope it's a big deal for Chattanooga. We love this town. We love having been here. We love being a part of the fabric of this town.
And Rock Creek Outfitters is celebrating 30 years in this scenic city, and they want you to join in on the celebration. So tonight, you can swing by their North Shore location from 5 to 7 for free snacks and beer from Chattanooga Brewing Company.
There will also be many of their conservation partners there to show off what they have to offer. It is a big deal for any company to last 3 decades, and Rock Creek says local investment has sustained them.
You know, just being a part of the community, really digging ourselves in and working with the outdoor end user groups to maintain and protect the backcountry that's around Chattanooga. And Chattanooga is just full of great people, and they support local businesses.
Yeah, get out there, support local from 5 to 7 tonight. Again, tonight's event is free to attend.
And coming up on Eyewitness News today, we'll check in with David one last time to see what the weather looks like as you head out the door.
And if you're just turning on the TV for the Today Show, you're heading out west on Interstate 24. Mess is what we can say. This happened around 4:20 this morning, expected to last about 30 more minutes. We're going to keep you updated throughout the Today Show until this situation at the Wildwood exit is cleared up.